Alright, welcome back ladies and gentlemen to our second match here, another mirror match in the round of 32 at Code A. Starting to the top right of the map we have our first Terran. He's one of the FXO player who's playing today. This is ASD. He was able to win against Mana in the first round. Now he has to face a fellow Terran player. And on Entombed Valley, his opponent starts to the bottom right. For the Prime team we have the Marine Prince. It is Maru.
Maru, very young player, very short as well. Always wears his wrist guards. Although I see it's a little bit agitated after moving his wrists around that really bumped in the table. I don't blame him. I actually used to wear wrist guards. My old desk I had back in high school when I started StarCraft 1.
Are they really wrist guards?
Well, I mean,
it's more like sweatbands.
It's a sweatbands, right? But you use it if you like. You can wear it as a sweatband. But oftentimes if you have like a surface that kind of bumps into your arm, it can start to agitate you a little bit. So you wear like something to cover that, protect it. That may not even be why he's using it, but I notice he always wears this, so...
He just wants to look cool.
Yeah, he does look cool. That much is for sure. He's looking pretty cool with his gas first, too. And at these positions, it's going to work out really well for him if he wants to do some sort of airplay.
Maru is pretty strong in the Terran versus Terran matchup. He has roughly 30 games played. He won 66% of them. And the last match that he played was against Life in the Up and Downs. He won this match with 1-0, was of course only a best of 1. But just in general, if you look at his gaming history against Terran, he's looking really strong. And on the other hand, we have ASD, who has a 46% win ratio in the Terran versus Terran match. But on the other hand, his sample size is really small. We only have roughly 13 recorded games that were televised. So it's pretty hard to say how he's going to do here. The last Terran versus Terran that he played was against Hart. It was a best of 3 at MLG Summer Championship. And he lost without taking a single map. So we have to find out if he improved since then and if Maru proves to be a stronger player here. As already pointed out, he starts with a faster gas and will therefore go for a bit of a tech build and trying to do damage. While we have ASD so far also taking gas, but a little bit slower.
ASD is an aggressive player, but not so much in this matchup. He's really known to do all-ins in Terran vs. Cross and Terran vs. Zerg, especially factory-based play in Terran vs. Protoss. I was able to take Mana out actually in the first round using such a play. So against Maru here, I expect he's going to try to go for the later game. That's why he's doing a more normal expansion build with his gas timing. We'll see actually a very fast tech lab go down here for Maru for his factory, or excuse me, for his starport. He's going to make his starport on the tech lab. This is a way to do this that not everybody does, but I really like this version, so you don't have to do as much lifting.
It's the fastest timing that you can get in order to get a Banshee out there. So this is definitely the idea that Maru currently has. And he also has the second gas. So with the second gas, it's very likely that he's going to go for Cloak.
Basically what you sacrifice with this is, okay, I'm not making a Marine, so I make a tech lab. You get a Hellion instead. So you can use your factory instead of using the factory to make a tech lab. So that's how it works out. So we'll have that faster Hellion. The reactor coming down here for ASD is probably going to be for Hellions, though. Really interesting choice by him. Hellions are just becoming more popular, actually, in all matchups right now as an opener. That's really exciting to me.
Yeah, you know, those guys are really strong, especially if you're able to sneak them past your opponent's defense and just you know, 1 second of inattention, and suddenly you have Hellions in your mineral line, and your harvesters are really under pressure. You need to split perfectly, you need to send your units home, and you can't just lose a game right then and there if you don't micro perfectly and save your drones, work SCVs or probes. So now we have the Cloak upgrade coming up for Maru as already suspected. We have the first Banshee being produced. And this is going to be really interesting, especially with how ASD plays. Now he doesn't get a Viking.
Yeah, he's going for a drop, so this is going to be kind of funny. And, you know, earlier I was thinking the reactor was going to be for Hellions, but it turns out he's just going to be making a Marines off of it for a while. He may never even switch it, depending on what he wants to do after this, how much pressure this is able to do, how much damage he's able to get down with this drop. Probably going to try to attack at the front with the Hellions and drop Marines in the main, with some Hellions in the drop as well. He can elevator. There's a ton of different options when you do this type of pressure play. It's very difficult to defend if you go Banshees.
The Viking was already queued up for ASD, so the Banshee now heading out for Maru, but it will run right into the Banshee. The thing, of course, the Viking. The thing, of course, is that with Cloak upgrade nearly being completed, Maru can use Cloak immediately, and then it will be up to ASD to use not only his scans, but also good positioning for the Viking. And did he actually cancel it? Yes, he cancelled the Viking. Oh my god, this is going to be brutal.
Yeah, you're right. I guess he was trying to get his command star up faster, so I don't know what building he was making at that time, but the thing is, you can't Can Maru even defend this attack though? He's trying to get that bunker up, but the bunker can just be avoided. Oh, a nice hit there. He actually denies the bunker, and now he can target it if he wants to.
But he's still building units, and look at all these units that are being killed by the Banshee. So right now, Maru is doing a great job. And it's really hard for ASD to come through here. Now the bunker has been completed, the Marines are in there, we still have additional Hellions, and those Banshees are going strong in the main base of ASD. It's really tough for the FXO Terran to defend against this.
He's going to be going back home for some reason. He's actually going to get home just in time to watch the Banshee die before his units got there.
But look at how many SCVs were killed. He is down to 10 harvesters. The second Banshee comes in, it cloaks immediately. Look at this, workers killed 20. Yes, he's able to take down both Banshees, but at what cost? 31 harvesters against 9. Oh my god.
I can't believe ASD thought that turning around was going to be the right choice. He could have tried to elevate into the main. He had the army advantage, you know, straight up there. Obviously, yeah, Banshee's going to pop out, and that's going to be a problem. He's going to have to use scans to fight. But turning around here basically just is kind of like saying, well, okay, I surrender, because now he no longer has an advantage anyway. He doesn't have a timing he can hit. He's behind in economy, insanely so. And Maru basically has all the cards in his hands. He has no weaknesses right now.
Yeah, not even an advantage when it comes down to the number of bases. ASD had to cancel his command center that he was building. And while we have still Maru harassing with the Banshee, and at the bottom left, he cannot just, bottom right, he can just build his own command center right now. He knows that he is far ahead of his opponent when it comes down to economy, and of course, when it comes down to the actual unit itself. He can still harass.
Yeah, he's trying to find opening here. He knows his Banshee's going to die, so he's just trying to make the best use out of it. But this attack is probably just going to end the game. There's a ton here. Got to be careful with his Hellions, so if it actually doesn't really, looks like maybe not.
Yeah, the thing is that even if he doesn't trade too cost efficiently here, he will be in the better spot just because he puts so much pressure onto his opponent. And he is still, like, yes, 3 times the amount of harvesters that his opponent has, ASD. So Maru can just now build his expansion, try to make sure that ASD is not getting his own second command center. And this is all that he needs to do.
That Hellion run-in was a bit brash, though. I feel if he had just waited for the rest of his units, he could have just taken the game. But now, I mean, he still has a massive lead, but ASD is like, okay, maybe I can stabilize here. This Banshee will be a problem as long as he keeps out of range of those turrets. I mean, there's just very little of anything that ASD can do in this game. He's basically already at checkmate. He's trying to hide behind a turret to stop the Banshee.
The supply depots are being attacked, and as soon as they die, there will be the chance for Maru to just go into the main base of his opponent. The Banshee, even though there's a scan, is still surviving, has no problems being kept alive. And Maru now with 70 supply has the second command center, upgrading it to an orbital. Will have the double mule still attacking those supply depots. Another scan reveals one Banshee, but the second one is still alive. Going to be taken out by the Viking, but there's a GG.
There was no way for him to get down that ramp, but he just went for it. I mean, there was a concave at the bottom. Maru was waiting there.
It was a lost situation.
Absolutely.
Either you go down the ramp and you risk losing your entire army, or you stay in your main base, you don't have the second expansion.
You're already down to workers, and you just die a slower game, so... I mean, it looked like a poor choice at the end, but there was just no good choice to make. That game basically ended when ASD decided to turn around. Even if he didn't turn around, though, build order-wise, he was behind, and it would have been hard to break through. Maybe he could have done it, but he didn't even try. He decided, I'm going to go home, maybe try to defend this Banshee, but nothing really went his way. Game number 2 is going to be on Cloud Kingdom.
Maru just did way too much damage with this Banshee harassment. Yeah. He decided to cancel the Viking ASD, that is. He took every single opportunity away from himself to defend against the harass, and then more than 25 SCVs died. Maru was in a great position, and now he has to repeat the same... Well, he has to repeat the same outcome if he wants to advance to the 3rd round. Cloud Kingdom, as mentioned, is going to be our next map.
Yeah. You know, imagine if the Banshee, or rather the Viking, had not been cancelled. He would have obviously lost a lot of harvesters still, because he would have had to use scans, but that game could have been completely different. The cancel on the Viking was a decision that I guess he made because he didn't see the Banshee at the time it was supposed to arrive. He wanted to make something a little bit faster. I would even like to look at the replay for that, because that was a kind of a mystery choice that he made.
I mean, right now all we can do is wait for the second game to start, another Terran versus Terran, but Maru just really showing his skills here. On the other hand, ASD in the first round against Mana also lost the first map and then was able to come back and take the best of 3 with a 2-1. So this might happen to Maru as well. But right now I have to say that the Prime play is looking really strong. In Team League, in GS, in the individual league, in both he's looking really strong, and it looks like he wants to be back in Code S once again. He was already in Code S once. Didn't do too well, but he wants to get another shot.
He does, and looks like they were just checking their the headsets. Okay, now we're gonna start. Everything is good. Not so much for ASD as he's down a game, but he is at least ready to play game number 2 and try to tie things up here.
Okay, Cloud Kingdom, as already mentioned, is map number 2. Terran versus Terran coming up now with the second game in the best of 3. If Maru is able to win